Welcome back to Malbun, Liechtenstein, where the men's final is about to kick off. So grab the popcorn because battle is about to commence between some real titans of the sport. This is the fifth stop on the European Cup. And let's have a look at those starting lists to see who is battling for a place on the podium. So first up will be Tristan Ladevant from France, and then Andreas Gantner, Jonathan Brown from Switzerland, Pierre Betrissy also from Switzerland, and Nikolai Primarov also heading up Team Switzerland. Then from France, we have Virgile Devin and Luna Ladevant. And last but not least is Florian Gantner from Liechtenstein. So what you may notice there, and this may be a first in the European or even the World Cup, is we've got two sets of brothers in the final. We'll have to check to see whether this is a first, but we've got the two Ladevant brothers, Tristan and Luna. Tristan and Luna Ladevant, and Florian and Andreas Gantner, both taking part. Interestingly, it's the younger brother who is the slightly more successful in the rankings. I don't know whether that's a thing, whether it's true of other competitive brothers. So we're just at the tail end of observation period here. This is where athletes get a chance to look at the route, work out the moves. They can use a pen and paper. They can have a look with binoculars. But what they can't do is take photos with their phone. And it really helps to have a photographic memory, because they work through the moves. Often you'll see them actually kind of moving their arms up and down, kind of closing their eyes, just trying to visualize what they have to do. And there it is, the men's final route, set by Sylvain Chupac, who is the coach of Team Switzerland. You can hear quite a few French voices there. So yes, two sets of brothers taking part in tonight's final. Is it a thing where the younger brother is just slightly has the edge? I know that the freestyle skiing brothers, Nico and Miguel Porteous, the younger brother Nico is a little bit more successful in the rankings. And certainly it's true here that Luna and Florian Gantner are the younger siblings and a little bit more successful. But I know that in triathlon you've got the Alistair and Jonathan Brownlee brothers, between the brothers, and it's the older brothers who are more successful. So Alistair, who has 2 Olympic medals, maybe he's the exception that proves the rule. Anyway, interesting talking point for another time perhaps. So like the women, the men will have 6 minutes to do their stuff on this route. Just 2 minutes to go until the start. Now, a reminder to all of you who follow us on social media, our Instagram account has changed. No longer is it at UIAA Mountains. That account was closed by Instagram for reasons we're still investigating. So to find us on your favorite social media channel, the account is at UIA Ice Climbing World Tour. So do make the effort to try and find us and follow us. And remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that way you will get alerts. And you need alerts because there are a lot coming. We've got a lot of things happening in the pipeline. Next weekend is, of course, SASFE, where we've got the Youth Championships, and it's also a World Championships event, which promises to be super exciting. We've got athletes from all over the world taking part. We're basically going to be live from dawn till dusk, showing all the action. So if you've got a climbing gym, or you run a climbing wall, or know any kind of sports event, tell them to tune in to our channel on YouTube for all the most amazing dry tooling action. There's the stop clock ready to start. with 6 minutes to go. Bit of fine tuning from the route setters by the looks of things here. Just using the crane to make some final adjustments. Great to be back here in Malbun. We were here in 2018 for the Youth Championships. And we're back again in 2022. Not sure exactly what's going on at the moment, but looks like we're either tying off or getting this hanging pylon barrel out of the way, or perhaps just adjusting its position. Either way, it looks quite a difficult feature if it's part of the route. Now, it's nice in the men's final that we have two athletes competing from the home country, Liechtenstein. Those are the Gantner brothers. So good to see Liechtenstein represented. I mentioned earlier that Liechtenstein is Europe's 4th smallest country. So if ever it comes up in one of those pub quizzes, it's Europe's 4th smallest country. The other three, of course, being the Vatican City, Monaco, and the little Italian Principality of San Marino. It's nice to include a little bit more knowledge here. This European tour stop in Malbun, Liechtenstein. Final glance of the route. Now, originally the men's final was slated to begin at 8 p.m. They moved it forward to 7:30, but it looks as though we're not quite ready. So bear with us. Fantastic winter conditions though here in Malbun. It's been sort of around -5 degrees today, snowing lightly. Good snow conditions for skiing. Of course, nice temperatures for ice climbing. Quite a weekend of action at the moment. Over in America, in UIAA, it's the Ice Festival. And a lot of familiar faces are taking part over there. In the men's, Tyler Kempney, Keenan Griscom, Kevin Linlau and Wes Fowler. And I last checked were heading up the qualifying rankings. And over in the women, Lauren Chartel, Aneta Lujeka, who normally competes in the European Cup, has obviously decided to try her chances in the US. And Cora Bue, also a familiar name from the World Tour, all taking part. But it's not to be confused with the North American Championships, which we're streaming on the 4th to the 6th of February. So do stay tuned for that. We're in Finland as well, live streaming the last of the European Cup stops in Oulu on February 18th. And I imagine that any Bertling will be looking to put another 100 points onto her scoreboard. It'll be exciting to see who will top the women's overall rankings in the European Cup. Currently she leads, but after today it will be difficult to tell the numbers, whether she still has a chance. She should still have a chance, because both Sina Goetz and Petra Klingler have only competed in, well, Sina Gertz only competed in one event in Bern. Petra has no points at all until today. So any Bertling is looking good for her to win the overall series. She has the opportunity to get another 100 points at the end of January. In end of mid-February, February the 18th in Oulu. So end of February, we're going to be in Korea, in Cheongsong, which is a fantastic purpose-built World Cup venue. And then in Russia, the first 2 weekends of March. So it's 3 weekends back-to-back. Korea and Russia. So apologies for the delay. Bear with us. The organisers have just dropped me a note to say that one of the route setters, they needed to uncover a hold, so they just needed to extend the observation period. So there's a slight delay in starting while one of the holds is uncovered. But it looks as though we're kind of wrapping up. The crane is being moved away. And we can look forward to some stellar dry tooling action here in the 5th tour stop of the European Cup in Malbun, Liechtenstein, where among the lineup of 8 male athletes we have 2 sets of brothers. Like the women, we've also got a mixture of sort of the young stars coming through and also the more seasoned veterans, athletes like Nikolai Primarov, who's been around for years and years, first competed in 2007 when some of the younger athletes were not very old at all. Jonathan Brown, would have just been 7 years old back then. Most of the male lineup in their early 20s. But even then, there are seasoned veterans. And Luna Ladevant, he's 21, but he's been competing for years in the youth circuit. He would have been here before as well in Malbun in 2018. Along with the Gantner brothers, they were here also in 2018. So a reminder of the lineup. We have Tristan Ladevant from France, who will be first up. And then from Liechtenstein, the first of the Gantner brothers, Andreas. Swiss athlete Jonathan Brown, who won 2 years ago the European Tour. Pierre Betrissy and Nikolai Primarov from Switzerland. And then Virgile Devin, who is absolutely crushing it this year on the European Tour. He's currently #1 in the rankings. And then Aluna Ladevant is the 2020 world champion. So this is looking very spicy. And then last up is the second of the Gantner brothers, Florian. Yes, Virgile Devin, I mean, he's having a very, very successful start to this year. First in both Brno and Utrecht. Now look, we're coming to the first of the men's. This is Tristan Ladevant. Also, along with his brother, Luna, a real adventure climber as well. You should check out their Instagram feed, Les Frères Ludevin. They've been doing some interesting things in Kyrgyzstan and also some big wall climbing in Brazil. So this is Tristan's first competition appearance in a year. We last saw him in Champigny a year ago, 2021. Yep. Kind of get the years confused a little bit with all this COVID. But yes, it was January or February 2021 that we saw him. He came third in the lead event. So he's psyching himself up, gives the arms a good shake, get the blood flowing, get the adrenaline going. Adrenaline, though, is not always your friend. Gives a nod to the judges, to the belayer. He is good to go. Starting with a reverse grip with the left. He has 6 minutes. Tristan Ludovin, 23 years old, from France. Nice steady work from the Frenchman. Also pretty useful in speed climbing. One of the better performing Europeans. Reaches up with the thumb, gets that first quick draw. Well, if he's nervous, he's not showing it. Just matches the Stein with the right, releases the left, and with the reverse grip, just goes for the next hold. Matches with the right. So secure, a Stein. Steps up and it evolves into a little bit of a floating undercling. This where it's a little bit less secure. Tool in the mouth as he gets quick draw number 3. Going straight for number 4. Can he do it? He does. 4.5 minutes still remaining. 4 of 16 quick draws that he needs to collect. So we've got a real side pull going on here. Difficult to see what's around the corner of that arete, but it looks like they've got to get onto that hanging barrel. There's a big reach up with the right, and he makes it. Pulls a little bit of slack through, gets that 5th quick draw. So far, so good. Anything can go wrong, however, in a fraction of a second. You can go in this sport 0 to 0. So far, Tristan Ludovin making all the right moves as he works through these 2 hanging barrels. So interesting that he didn't go for a hook on that right placement. He went for a big swing. The pick will be slightly harder to retrieve, however. That's the disadvantage. He's got good hold with the left. Can he get the right out? You see it's just slightly, feels a little bit stuck. But he's concentrating on that 7th quick draw. Gets the left back into the position. A few wiggles. He loses a little bit of energy there, just retrieving that right hand tool. The ideal with these barrels is really just to place the tool in a pre-existing hold. He chose not to do that. So he's got a side pull there. Very awkward. Just got to get your body position just right. Gets the right into a good place on the barrel. Teammates giving him some encouragement from below. Tristan Ludovin. From Grenoble. Started climbing when he was about 12. Neither of his parents were climbers, unlike many of the competitors here, but he just went to the local climbing wall and he and his brother took to it like the proverbial ducks to water. Now he can't retrieve that left. He's struggling a little bit. Just a little costly in energy. Looking ahead now, reaches up, gets a good placement there onto that Sam hold, which is onto rock. 1.5 minutes remaining. He's got the 9th draw. Can he reach for the 10th? That is what he'll be thinking right now. Got to get the points. As soon as the points become reachable, that is the time to clip. Although in pure energy efficiency, sometimes it's better to wait until you're almost past the quick draw to clipping it. So 45 seconds remaining for Tristan Ladevant. Oh, and he's off. Slaps himself on the leg. Cross. He missed it. Went for a reach and that left pick just swung out. Looking up to see what exactly went wrong. But he's laid down a marker. They certainly set the bar high. Gives us a little bit of a royal wave there. Just looking up to see what exactly happened. He had his left hand on a hold, and he went for the leap, for the lunge, and it was the feet that gave way, and he just couldn't hold himself with his fingers. Too much pendulum movement there for Tristan Ladevant. That's one of the problems for these dynamic movements, that you've got to stick it first time, because if you don't, you can swing and then suddenly that just knocks you off balance. Now, I was told earlier, and it may not be official, that there might be a dyno in the route. We haven't quite seen it yet. Perhaps it's a little bit further up. Certainly, the climbing standard today demands all climbing skills. It demands bouldering skills. It demands ice climbing skills. It demands dry tooling skills. You need to be accomplished in every discipline of the sport, a little bit like the Olympic climbing. So we're looking at Andreas Gantner roping up here, threading his figure of 8. He is the older brother of Florian Gantner, 24 years old. First time in a final. He finished 14th in Bern. So this is already an improvement for him. Looks like he has got his competition face on. Looking very serious. He means business. 6 minutes. Let's see what this young man from Liechtenstein can do. Into the Stein with the right. Not sure there's a home advantage. Maybe there's a psychological. Something gives you a little bit of... Oh no, it's off! And he pulls up the belayer with him. Over quickly, just in 34 seconds. But nonetheless, a round of applause, and he manages to smile. Yeah, you can't hide the disappointment with something like that. To come off so early always disappointing. He's pushing down with his right. Went for the lunge. And the left popped. Looked like maybe he didn't have his feet quite high enough. You've got to get your feet really high there, because as you reach up, your feet become a little bit less secure. The optimum secure position for your foot, unlike rock climbing, when you've got rubber, then you could have got much more angle. With ice climbing, with dry tooling, with the angle of the crampon is 90 degrees, really. But if you step too high above, then it becomes less secure. Some of the audience and crowd here is Team Japan, come all the way over from Japan. This is a warm-up event for them ahead of the World Championships next weekend in Saas Bay. The belays. So make sure you put next weekend in the diary and follow us at UIAA Ice Climbing World Tour. That is the address of our new Instagram account. So if you haven't been seeing us on social media, that'll be why. You need to go and find us, like us, follow us, subscribe, share your thoughts. We love your comments. Tell us if you're training, maybe you're training, watching this, thinking you'd like to give it a go. There are lots of resources online on the UIAA's website. Many of the athletes have written training blogs themselves. There's tons of resources out there. The sport is becoming more and more accessible. So if you're a mum or dad as well, think about maybe something for your child to get into. Girls and boys alike. You can never be too young. Seen pictures of some young climbers climbing from the ages of 4 or 5 years old with modified ice tools. The ice axes that these professionals are using are 150 centimeters. Excuse me, 30 centimeters. So the next athlete to follow Andreas Gantner will be Jonathan Brown, the European Cup Tour champion from 2020. Originally from South Africa, but now a Swiss citizen. Has the potential to be brilliant, but also prone to erratic performances. Consistency is not his strong point. But this year he's been looking good. He was second in Bern at the end of last year. You see his competition boots that he's wearing. So just getting himself ready. So I was talking about ice climbing, ice tools. So I actually just found the correct sizing. It's actually 50 millimeters, 50 centimeters is the height of a tool, and it's 25 centimeters across the head. So some of the younger athletes have modified tools, but not someone of Jonathan Brown's ability. He has 6 minutes. And he's off. Starting with that undercling with the left, going straight in, holding the tool in the same position to go in for that Stein. Pulls with the right, and he's up. Uses the left hand just to take that hold. Sometimes you do see that in the sport. Some climbers will use their hands as well. I mentioned earlier, it's all about the versatility and range of skills. You can't be just good in one discipline. Yannick Glattard is another athlete. You'll see he's got a very strong rock climbing background. He'll often use his hands instead of a tool. The only thing is these holds are optimized for a tool. They're not friendly for a hand, especially one with a glove on it. Jonathan Brown. Yes, marginally quicker than Tristan Ladevant. He's got a Stein with the left. He reaches up, gets that right. He's already well above the point where Andreas Gantner fell. And he's got quick draw 4 and 5. And he's already on the hanging barrel. Big placement there. Strong with the left and right. He's opted to make his own placements rather than go for the pre-existing holds. The advantage of that is you can place your tool anywhere you want. The disadvantage is you sometimes have to wiggle to extract the tool. So we see there he's just going for the hook. No, he decided against the hook. He's going to swing it himself and get a good placement. And he's just trying to remove that right hand. And this is where it can be costly, because with the wiggle, you also risk unbalancing yourself. So he's chosen to, interestingly, move that left hand pick and get it in the lower position. Three and a half minutes remaining. Big reach up now onto that Sam hold. He's now within range of quick draw number 7. And he'll be thinking about getting that as soon as he can get that ice axe out. It's in the mouth, matches the right with the left, frees up the left, and now he can make that quick draw, and he does it. Matches the left tool back with the right tool. Just 4 seconds slower than Tristan Ladevant. Still almost 3 minutes remaining, so anything can yet happen. He's certainly enjoying swinging the tool. It's really down to an athlete's particular preference. We'll see other athletes who'll just hook. Works the feet round. Can you get the next draw? That's number 9. And he's now 43 seconds ahead of Tristan Ladevant. Get a good view now of the last section of this route. Gets number 10. Ladevant also reached the 10th quick draw. So Brown needs to get past this section. This is where Ladevant came off. He's got to stick it with the right tool. But unlike Ladevant, he's got his tool on that volume on the left there. Not even close there. 1 minute remaining. The fatigue has crept in, shaking off the left. Close enough. Going for another big swing. Still not close enough. Just a few inches short. Every time you go for the move, the energy just starts hemorrhaging. He can't hang here forever. Going for the swing. He's got it. He's got it. Big cheers from the crowd below. 30 seconds remaining. Gets that next Sam hold. Quick moves with the feet. Very quick. The tool in the mouth frees up the right hand to get that quick draw. He's got it. 12. He's setting the bar high with 16 seconds remaining. Over this wooden volume. A little bit of a wiggle to get his foot out. 5 seconds remaining. He's just got to get that next quick draw. 3 seconds remaining. The time is up. So his score will be on the 12. I don't think that 13th score will count, but watch this. A little bit of a crowd pleaser. There is the dyno. But I'm not sure he's aware that the clock has stopped. The clock has stopped. He still went for that dyno. I think maybe he might have known the clock had stopped, but he was going for it anyway. Great performance there from Jonathan Brown. He has set the bar very high indeed. Little pat on the back there from one of the officials. Now, after taking that dyno, can he undo his figure of 8? He can, just. Great performance from the 20-year-old Swiss athlete, Jonathan Brown. He now exits the climbing area, making way for fellow Swiss athlete Pierre Betrici to follow. Brown just taking one last look at the route.
Du kannst voll gut stehen halt und voll abpumpen.
Und die anderen zwei, das geht verfälscht. Ja.
Was ist denn dran? So ein scheiß Sam-Hold, den du noch treffen musst.
So, we've got 5 more athletes to come. And Jonathan Brown has set the bar very high indeed for all those who follow. Next of whom will be Pierre Betrici, 23-year-old, relative newcomer, 4th in Bern at the end of last year. So this isn't his first finals. He was 9th in Bern in the 19 to 20 calendar year. Let's see how he can do today. Matches the picks, and the clock stops. The clock starts rather when one leg is on the route. Reaches up, confidently walks up on that Stein hold, then reaches with the left onto that little nobule of rock. So the first challenge is not far away. Big reach with the right. almost sort of around the arete there. Close. Close. My hearter missed a beat. I don't know about yours. Living dangerously. But Betrichet is now on the scoreboard with quick draw number 1, and there is quick draw number 2. So he's going for this next hold with reverse grip. Very small hold. Accuracy has to be so precise. But using that reverse grip is really beneficial for athletes because it allows them to employ the bigger muscles around the back. It's a little bit less demanding, a little bit less tiring on the fingers as well. So reaches up with the right, had a couple of stabs. This is number 3. Is it good? It's holding for now. He's going to trust it. Just holding it in that side pull position. Matches the left with the right, just changes back into the reverse grip with the left. A little bit slower, 35 seconds off the pace from Jonathan Brown. Doesn't quite get the barrel on the first attempt, nor on the second. Third time lucky. Sticks. Gets his feet a little bit higher on the plywood. Now he's choosing to hook his tools on the pre-existing holds. He doesn't want to forget about quick draw number 5. Did well to remember that. So he's a little bit slower than the others, but he's still in the fight. So Betrichet, unlike Brown, preferring to use these existing holds and just hook his tool. The advantage of that is minimum swing required and minimum effort required to extract the tool. Tool in the mouth. Just uses the right hand there, almost just to push down a little bit, get himself a little bit higher up. But he's a little bit slow here in the movements. 2.5 minutes remaining. Now, interesting, he's using his feet on the barrel. It's not often you see that. One on the wall, one on the barrel. Is that hold good enough? It looks minuscule, but it's good enough for Betrichet. He's still in the fight. Quick draw number 7. He needs to get to the 12th draw to do better than his fellow teammate Jonathan Brown. But he's hanging off one arm, and that is intense. That's where all the training comes in, all those dead hangs in the gym. No sweat for the young man. Now he's starting to attack this barrel. He wants some security. Hanging off one arm. This isn't good. Even though he's young, he's strong, he can do that. But technique-wise, it's hemorrhaging his energy. You need to get your feet onto terra firma to take the strain, or get into figure 4 position. Struggling now, you can see it's taking its toll. 1 minute remaining for Betrichet. Still going. Reaches to get number 9. Still another 7 to go though, and only 40 seconds. Reaches onto that volume. Tool in the mouth. This is where he needs to swap hands and match. But he's going to try something perhaps a little bit different. go for the Stein? No, he does go for the match with the reverse grip and gets that 10th quick draw. Can he get it? 14 seconds remaining. Last effort now from Geir Betrice, the 23-year-old from Switzerland. He's got a really solid Stein there with the right. And he's off. He was most likely going to come off there anyway. He looked at the limits of his endurance. Absolutely wasted he is. You get an idea of just how strenuous this sport is. Look at him, there we go, the little victory sign, cheeky victory sign from the Swiss athlete. It'll be interesting to see their heartbeat at this moment, but it's probably off the chart. It's difficult to see how he could have progressed also from that point, because he relinquished that left-hand hold to take the Stein, which is slightly lower down, so it may have been difficult for him to then progress through those moves to get up. But we will never know, because his time ran out. Next up is another Swiss athlete. He will be one to watch. Nikolai Primarov is currently preparing to come out. The next gladiator to do battle. Originally from Russia. He's now been living in Switzerland most of his adult life. He is a laser engineer. So not only a formidable athlete, but also formidable brain. Here he is, Nikolai Primarov, the oldest athlete competing today, in the men's that is. 2 years shy of his 40th birthday, 38, but still absolutely at the peak of his powers and having a great season so far. First in Bern, second in Brno. Currently fifth in the rankings. Shakes the arms to get the blood flowing. 6 minutes on the clock. One last check to Villers, and he's off. Nikolai Primarov into that Stein and up this first relatively benign section of the route, and he's moving very quickly. Goes for that side hang almost to get onto that first quick. It'll be interesting to see what the clock says, but I think that's very fast, 8 seconds faster than Tristan Ladevant. Just 30 seconds it took him to get there. Now matches 2 Steins with a little floater on the left. Gets quick draw number 2. Gets those feet very high and reaches up. The precision is quite astonishing, really. Masterclass of core stability, strength, accuracy. And he goes into the Fig 4 to reach right onto the barrel. Little heard a cry of dabai dabai, Russian for go, go, go. This event does have the feel of a world tour stop. We've got athletes from USA and Japan taking part, all gearing up for next weekend's World Championships in Saas-Fee. So Nikolai Primarov looking at the top of his game here, onto the second barrel. Now he's chosen also to use the pre-existing holds. It's on the wall. Good side pull there with the left. Similar technique to Betrisi. 1 foot on the wall, 1 on the barrel. Reaches high with the right. Just on that second position on his tool. Hooks both tools onto that hold. So far, no big swims from him. Preferring just to hook his way through those barrels. Now, using a reverse grip, he reaches up to get that little Sam hold onto the rock, which will have just a little sweet spot where you need to get that pick exactly in the right position. Now this is where things get a little bit interesting. Now, interesting for Primarov, he's chosen to have his feet on the barrel. We haven't seen other athletes do that. Now he's onto the face of this section. Can he get number 10? Primarov is on the scoreboard with the 10th quick draw with 2.5 minutes remaining. Now he's a little bit low. This was the point where Pierre Betrisi got to. So perhaps Primarov will show us how to work through these moves. Oh, that was dangerous. Left just skidded out, but the right was good. He's reaching up with his left hand there. Searching perhaps in vain for a hold. He gets it with the left, reaches up onto the hold. He gets quick draw number 11. Interesting technique there from Primarov, who is living dangerously with his rather unstable feet at the moment. But he gets onto the wooden structure. Now, we're coming up to the dyno, and he's got 1.5 minutes remaining. He's got to get around this little awkward move. And kind of almost mantle shelf his way up here. A bit of rock climbing technique. One tool in the mouth, the other he's holding it. Pulling the rope through. Needs to swing the draw and then catch it. And with one hand, get it in. A little bit tricky, but he's done it. Less than a minute remain for Primarov. So here we go for the dyno. Davai. And he sticks it. Expertly done from Nikolai Primarov. Allez Nico, the crowd are shouting. Primarov, 30 seconds remaining on the clock. He's now on this very awkward log, this vertical log, struggling to hold its wings and spins. 3 seconds, the time is surely up. He can go no further. The time is up just as he manages to stabilize himself and get his feet on it. But he's shown the way. He's improved on the performance of Jonathan Brown and moves into pole position. Gives a wave to the crowd to acknowledge his performance. He must be happy with that. Moving into first place. And he also looks truly spent. An exhausting performance there from Nikolai Primarov. A lot of heavy breathing there as he grabs his jacket. Great climbing there from Nikolai Primarov, showing us all how it's done. Still 3 more athletes to come, and they are Virgile Devin from France, Luna Ladevant and Florian Gantner, the local athlete from Liechtenstein. Great to see 2 athletes from the home country performing. Liechtenstein is home to a population of just 38,000 people. Apparently, it's the most successful country in terms of Olympic medals per head of population. Liechtenstein has 9. But let's see if there can be a win in the ice climbing European Cup. That, of course, is the winter sport that counts. But right now it's Virgile Devin. You can see the tricolor on his left shoulder. He is having a storming season so far and currently heads the rankings. So 1 normal grip, 1 reverse grip. As soon as his feet leave the ground, the clock stops. Clock starts even. Virgile Devin. Clearly he has been working on his game the past year. Team France now looking very strong. A lot of athletes now in the top rankings. Before Luna Ladevant won the World Cup 2 years ago, it was way back in the early noughties. It was 20 years since they had a French champion. And now there are several contenders. Virgile Devin, one of them. And with climbing like this, you can see why. Already at quick draw number 3. Make that quick draw number 4. Quite as fast as Nikolai, 18 seconds off the pace. But anything can yet happen. So he's also going for the hook technique, using those pre-drilled holes in the wood. The advantage being you can just gingerly place the tool with precision. If you want to see the other technique, rewind and watch how Jonathan Brown just attacked it. You can even see the scars there on the barrel from where Jonathan Brown just attacked it, swinging hard. Virgile Devin, slowly but steadily working through the moves. Matches the right with the left to free up the left and get that 7th quick draw. 3.5 minutes remaining. Still very much in contention. Looking strong matches with the left. There's a little bit of a nervous moment there when the right came off. Now it's a big reach right onto the next barrel. Has he got it? Big kicks with the feet. That's where your security comes from. Good placement with the right. Now, get a sense of just how steep it is, how overhanging the route is. And he's off! No! Virgil Devin. It's all over for him. How costly will that be for his overall rank? It could be quite serious. He'll be counting on the fact that the next challenger to him, well, the next three challengers in the overall rankings are not here today, and they are Dennis Van Hoek, William Morris and David Buffard, none of whom are here today. The next challenger is Nikolai Primorov, who's 120 points behind him in the rankings. So it will be interesting to see what happens at the end of today, and still one further European tour stop remaining in Oulu in Finland next month. So Virgil Devin just getting the debrief there from the team. Swapping notes with Tristan by the looks of it. Tristan Ladevant.
En fait, comme l'épaule, je savais pas trop si elle était bonne ou pas. Je me suis dit, vas-y, je monte bien haut histoire de la charger, tu vois. Mais là, non, mais j'ai pas pris assez de risques en bas. Par contre, j'ai pris trop de risques en haut, quoi. Mais là, j'ai le voilier de bois. Bah ouais.
So Virgil Devin just swapping notes there with fellow teammate Tristan Ladevant. Some nice fire pits in the snow for all the crowd and guests watching the action today. And how great it is to be having this event compared to the COVID year that we had last year. Just great to see so much action going on. 6 European tour stops this season. Just fantastic to see so much competition going on. So next we have Luna Ladevant. Roping up there with the figure of 8. The 1920 world champion. Interestingly, he did better in the World Cup than he did in the Youth Games in Kirov the same year. The mask comes off. When he's good, this man is unbeatable. Let's see what he has got in store for us today. If you've just tuned in, you've timed it just right, because Luna Ladevant is one of the best climbers out there competing today. Former world champion in 2019, 2020. So, Stein with the left, up there with the right, and then it's another Stein just in the next hold, again with the left. Luna Ladevant, younger brother of Tristan, 21 years old, just holds that pick in place. perhaps to avoid a little bit of pick wobble. That's when the pick kind of moves from side to side. Generally not good for peace of mind. So 50 seconds have passed and he's on the scoreboard. Not the fastest, but the speed is not the primary factor here. It's your ability to get as high as possible. Using techniques that come from bouldering, that come from climbing, ice climbing, dry pulling. And a lot of gym work. So Luna has already made that hanging barrel. So far, so good for the Frenchman. Also a strong adventure climber. Should check out the brothers' Instagram feed, Les Frères Ladevant. Pretty active in the big mountains. Now he's swung the tool there. All down to personal preference. Both he and Brown like to swing. Most of the other athletes have preferred to just hook the tool in those pre-existing holds. There's no right or wrong way, whatever you're most comfortable with. So Luna Ladevant struggling to remove it. That is the downside. Matches the right hand with the left, walks the hands up that tool just to get a little bit higher, a bit more purchase, get the feet a bit higher and get that hanging quick draw. Does well to get that. They can swing if you don't get it the first time. Now he needs to get as high as he can on this barrel and then swing over onto the other side of the structure. And he does that fairly effortlessly. Say that almost with tongue-in-cheek because nothing is effortless at all here. All these moves are extremely strenuous, demanding precision, skill, strength. Struggling to find the rope. Big pull through. He's got quick draw number 10. 2.5 minutes remaining. 7 seconds off the pace. Now, how is he going to do this? He's got the Stein with the right. Is he going to bring that left down? He does. Interesting. Following the way pioneered by Primarov to get onto these holds on the right-hand side. Just walk the feet over. Expertly done. Amazing hip flexibility as well. He really had to open up his hips there to be in a sort of crouch, frog-like position as he traversed across. Flexibility, of course, being as important as strength. Most of these athletes can all do the splits. Moving fast now through the moves. Quick draw number 12. Grabs the top of that wooden volume with the left hand. So now it's about getting that quick draw. Just dangling out of reach, so you kind of got to reach out with the tool, bring it towards you. Grabs himself a little bit of slack with the hand. Can he reach it? He can. So here comes the dyno. Luna Ladevant goes for the dyno. On the edge. 3, 2, 1. Big cry. And he sticks it. Big crowd from below. He's now in time. He's ahead of Primarov. 30 seconds to go, but he still needs to get much higher on the route. Gets that next quick draw, 20 seconds remaining. Can he get above Primarov? This should take him into the lead now. 8 seconds remaining. He's just a little bit higher on the route. Both of them having clipped that 15th quick draw. This should absolutely take him into the lead as the clock stops. An absolute stellar performance there from Luna Ladovon, waving to the crowd. What's he going to do now? Are we going to see another dyno? Lapping it up there from the former World Cup champion. He takes a little bit of slack. What is he up to? Here we go. Hey, and he's off. I think the last athlete to do that was Yannick Lattard, was fond of doing that also. Bit of a showman, Luna Ladovon, but why not? He is in the lead with that performance, with just one more athlete to come. Great performance. A great start to the season as well. Put down a marker for Saas-Fee next weekend, showing that he is absolutely at the top of his game. Here he goes. Replay. Luna Ladovon lapping it up, enjoying the moment. Big cheer from the audience as Luna Ladovon exits the stage.
Ça dit quoi les autres? Il est dans la bûche, mais il n'a pas kiffé en haut.
So a little bit of discussion here in Team France by the sounds of it, comparing where he got in relation to Primarov.
J'étais tellement pas dedans quoi.
So we are almost at the end of the men's finals here in Malbun, Liechtenstein. Just one athlete remaining to climb, and that is Florian Gantner, the younger brother of Andreas Gantner. We've had two sets of brothers here in the finals. Seems like both younger siblings doing better today. So what's this young man going to do? 22 years old. Has he got what it takes to defeat the former World Cup winner Luna Ladovon? So he was fifth in Bern. Don't normally see Florian on the podium. So was he lucky? Or is he on fire? Let's see. The next 6 minutes will answer that question soon enough. Great performance though for Gantner to finish top of qualification. I mean, in the youth games, under 20s, in under 21s in Kirov in 2020, he finished just 11th. So maybe he's been putting something in his Swiss muesli over the last year and a half. He's looking very strong indeed. And of course, it would be something for Malbun if an athlete from Liechtenstein could win this event. Just a couple of seconds off the pace of Nikolai Primarov. Gets quick draw number 4. Reaches high with the right, and it's good. Oh no, didn't get it first time. Now he is going for the swing technique, preferring his own holds rather than the ones that already exist. Very difficult thing to do, to swing the tool when you're upside down. Just a little bit off balance. It's more of almost a backhand swing there that we saw earlier. Quick draw number 6. Thank you. Moving up through the holds, Gantner. Quick draw 7 with 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. We can hear the crowd willing this man on. Moves that left hand a little bit higher up, the second grip on the tool. Shakes the right. He feels the pump. A little bit faster now. 11 seconds ahead of the others. But it could yet all go wrong. This really is the jeopardy moment in the route. A very tricky traverse section here. Not getting that right to stick. Gets the right on that little volume, and presumably here he's going to swap hands. He does, matches the left, reaches that 10th quick draw. Now, can he get it? Now he's just got to step right, or maybe he'll try and reach from here. Looks like he's going to go for the swing. He's preparing for a swing. Dangerous. It can knock him off balance. He's already hanging. Very demanding on the strength there. 2.5 minutes remaining. No, he's going to down climb. Down climbs onto the Stein. Now he needs to work his way across right onto those holes. Living dangerously, this man. But he's still in the game. Famous last words is off. It's all over for Florian Gantner, which means that Luna Ladevant will take the top spot. Nikolai Primarov the second, and Jonathan Brown will go into third place. Waiting for that to be confirmed. The scoreboard hasn't been updated yet, but that is a stellar performance there from Florian Gantner. The left just came loose. He did well to hang on there. It looked like he was really at the limit of his endurance here anyway, having to shake out the hand, and it was well shaking out the right. He just lost his purchase. So that brings to a close the men's and women's finals here in Malbun, Liechtenstein. Remember that we're going to be in Saas-Fee next weekend, so do sign up for regular updates. Remember to find us on Instagram. We have a new channel. It's no longer at UIAA Mountains. It is at UIAA Ice Climbing World Tour. And it is the World Tour that kicks off Next month he stops in Korea and Russia, so do stay tuned for that. And all we've got left to say is congratulations to all of the athletes. The standings at the end of today will be Luna Ladavant will take the gold. He wins today's men's final. Nikolai Primarov is in second position, and Jonathan Brown takes the third place. So thank you everyone for watching. We shall see you in a week's time.
On n'avait pas compris qu'on avait le droit de monter sur la marche. On pensait mais du coup,